I think one of the obvious conclusions from the housing group is that there is a demand across the area, a tremendous demand across the area, but the demand can't be expressed in the way that the JSA is currently doing it. What it's unable to do is look at genuine need, and the need varies considerably and needs to be expressed in very different terms, and it's not a question of just quantifying numbers of houses. One of the other conclusions was that it's a very long time since there's been an adequate housing needs survey, which would hopefully help to satisfy that. Whenever you build housing, quite naturally you need to look at the infrastructure requirements, and there's far too much evidence that housing has been undertaken without actually seriously understanding the context within which that housing is taking place. And critically, housing not just described in terms of a property, but how you rent it, how you might rent it, how you might have shared ownership, all of those schemes that will allow people and allow communities to grow, to change, to stay within their communities. And critically, it's looking at the land on which you're going to build and where it's going to be. The current allocation for housing is all located in Corsham. There's a lot of people living across the community area who would like to be able to grow, see their kids develop, understand how their grandparents are going to continue living across the community area. That needs new investment in the right kind of property for the right kind of reasons, based on who we are and how we want to live.
We started off talking about biodiversity, and although the JSA talks all about special sites of special scientific interest and specialist wildlife sites, we thought that there were plenty of areas much closer to home all around the place which could become better sources for wildlife, supporting bees. So we wanted to see using things like the verges, using existing organisations like Corsham in Bloom in ways that could encourage biodiversity and richer wildlife. We talked about water quality next, and actually we were quite annoyed about the standard that we were told of water quality. The rivers and streams in the Corsham Community Area, none is in good condition, particularly when you look at the table and you see that Wiltshire's got over 50% and Chippenham's got over 50%, so we've got, what the hell's going on? Is it the statistics that are wrong? Is it the way they measure it? So what we'd like to do there is have the area board, get some people on to explain this to us, because we couldn't come up with any sensible suggestions because we couldn't see what the problems were, or indeed why there would be problems. We expected it to come out better than it did in these statistics, so that's what we'd like to pursue on that. We didn't spend much time on energy consumption because that told us that the transport sector accounts for most energy consumed, so we thought we'd let the transport group get on with that. But we did talk about waste, and we had a different emphasis in the two groups. The first group, we talked more about the need to have better information and support in different ways for people who couldn't take, for example, bulk waste. So we want much more ways of finding out the things that don't go in those bins, and ways, if you can't actually follow up that information usefully, finding ways to encourage people to collect together. I mean, Cullen has in their parish plan, for example, have an idea of link, right, and we also wanted better environmental standards in new build and improving energy consumption in existing buildings.